I think the first time I ever expressed my emotion, like, recklessly. Like, I don't care. I'm part of those statistics of people who go to North America, then they lost their over a decade marriage. When I went through the therapy session, right, I discovered that those things we were taught on how to be a man was actually a heavy burden that we need to offload to be a better man.
Open table TV, come and sit with me, where the truth is spoken freely. Ideas shared for all to see at the open table, unity.
In a world where AI, rumors of war, economic hardship, and alternate universe run supreme, mental health has become a hot topic. That's what we're going to talk about today. Welcome to the Open Table. With me today, as always, I have my sister, Okiki, and we have a guest that is going to delve into this mental health, especially from a male's perspective, because people generally say women are always talking about mental health. We are so grateful that we have a guy in the house that has graciously decided to come on the open table to just shine some light from the male perspective. And he is Mr. Abiola Oseni. He is a seasoned IT solution architect. And beyond IT, he's an entrepreneur and is currently the COO of the fastest growing logistics startup in Western Canada. He plays the role of an enterprise architect, bridging technology solution with business outcomes. He manages tech bend ends of the logistic operations. Mr. Abiola is not just a businessman, he's a father, and he has 3 beautiful girls. Mr. Abiola, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome to the show.
Even though I was jittering, like, it's not my profile, like.
My mouth was shaking. Oh, the big one.
Like, that means this.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I know I have done the introduction of who you are, but just in your own words, tell us, who is Mr. Abiola Oseni?
Mr. Abiola Oseni, a lot of people call him Uncle B, so I think I like that name.
So should we call you Uncle B?
Yeah, just call me.
Hey, that's awesome. Okay.
Yeah, and I think I like the Uncle B because sometimes it appears like I'm the uncle that somebody never had.
Okay.
So, like, coming around to just seek some pieces of advice, how to navigate things and all of that. I'm still a young man, but I think the little I've done with life, I could share with someone else and they could use it to just, navigate some turbulent moments. So that's why I really like the Uncle B part, right?
And it sounds funky.
Yeah, it sounds funky.
Uncle B.
So as some people said, oh, you're sugar daddy.
It's
a blend of vibes and wisdom. Right?
I love that.
All right. So beyond that, I'm always a techie guy. I've been a tech guy for more than about 20 years. And all my life in Nigeria, I've been into tech. When I moved to Canada also, I've been into tech, doing a few things. And I think I'm just barely 3 years in Canada, actually. And within that time, I've worked in some merger and acquisition initiatives where I was a tech lead and I had to lead the entire team into migrating a new company, right, into the parent company. Wow. So we have to look at the data migration, IT integration, and so many things, project management and all. But beyond that, I think I have one little story to tell.
Please,
right?
Yes.
So when I was growing up, right, so I was telling my late dad there, that hey, come, I want to become an engineer. And I was just watching me one day doing my thing and I said, see, new family you are.
You have to translate.
He said, in our family, we are entrepreneurs. So no matter what you are learning, just know that you are going to look for the business of that skill and you're going to make money out of it. So that's what makes me feel a bit restless, because when I'm in a place, I just kind of look for ways to coin out a business out of everything. see how money can come.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's good.
I really like I love that. That was a good one. You know what, funny? My next question was gonna be on what your childhood was like for you to be a tech guy. Like, have you always been the Game Boy? Because I have boys, I want to like project. Should I allow them play games so that they can be a tech guy? That's on the lighter note anyway.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for taking us back into your childhood memory. So how was growing up like? Like, did you grow up in a male-dominated environment or a female-dominated environment or both?
Yeah, I think both. I actually grew up with my auntie, and she has 3 kids. I was the 4th child to her. And so 2 boys, 2 girls. So we had a balance.
Yeah.
that was
So within that time, one thing is that I am the boy. I will say that we are curious and stubborn. So we are those types that they will give us chores. They will go to work, especially during holiday, right? As a step out of the house, we have stepped into something else.
Oh my
Either we are
gosh.
building something,
Oh.
or we are building something with some friends, or we are organizing something like a game, football competition or something. So we are always those guys
Tough.
that, always, and most of the time we're always caught and we're always beaten.
Oh dear.
So in the course of trying not to be caught, we kind of develop some critical thinking skills on foiling your desire and at the same time obeying the rules.
Wow.
So in that situation,
Interesting.
so there's a balance. And the girls are always the snitches anyway. So.
Why did you say everything? I disagree. We disagree. 2 against 1
But let me
now.
tell you how we do it. When they need something, they use our own shortcoming to
Yes.
make us do it.
Okay.
So we also learn negotiation.
Sure. Oh. Interesting.
So we know we have some things in their own blacklist. So they will use it to blackmail us. We will do what we have to do so that we can cancel out all those.
Which is good that you said the story, because it kind of plans for all of this, because it's not today that you started using your high mental sense to figure out life. So we want to talk about mental health and from the man's perspective. I think the very first question I would ask is this. People say when it comes to men and mental health, they are silent. Is that from your own world? And again, I recognize that you are not a specialist in this area, but you're a man. So is it a general broad stroke statement, or is it true that men are usually silent about their mental health?
Yes, we are. And it boils down on how we're all brought up.
Right.
We're taught to be man enough. Men don't cry. They'll tell you if you are the eldest. In short, there's even more pressure on you if you are the eldest and you are the first child and a son. They say you have a lot of people, at your back looking up to you, so you cannot fail. So to fail is not an option. Shame is not an option. So we're taught to be tough. Beyond that, the society was modeled through entertainment. And that's why we have to be very careful what we watch. Those days, we have a whole lot of, superheroes, Rambo's, the likes of Sylvester Stallone, or when they do all those Bruce Lee and when they do all those things, we saw them as people who are infallible.
Yeah.
They are always heroes. So they don't crack. Even if they fall, they have to stand up and win and kill the boss, right? So that alone also kind of put this thing into us. Then finally, our fathers are always the first in class.
Yes, that was it.
So today, all our fathers, there was nobody in the last position. So them telling us all the time, I was the first to my class. I was the first. So they are reinforcing it into us that you need mental resilience. You need to be tough, and all of that. So when we grew up with that man to become that man that cannot disappoint those who raised us, that cannot disappoint the society. And we don't have the Cinderellas who later became our friends and our wives. I also feel like, this guy must not fail. So if it feels there's something has gone wrong,
the knight in shining armor kind of.
You get kind of. So the expectation of men is so high. that even when we're going through tough time, we have to muzzle it. We have to keep it inside of us. We have to find a way to resolve it internally rather than expressing it. Yeah. So that is the way I think most of us from that part of the world were raised. Even though it helps us to achieve a lot, but at the end of the day, it has its own impact on us over time. So it's by design. Men should not express their feeling. They only need to show results.
That's strong.
Okay, I think I have a question for you. Talking about expressing your feelings, has there ever been a time in your life that you've had cause to express your emotions? Good, like maybe there's something bothering you and you've had to express it. And how was that received? Maybe while you were growing up or your marital life, like as an adult, like how was that received from people you had around you and people you had to express your emotions to?
I think the first time I ever expressed my emotion, like recklessly, like I don't care,
Ever.
was when I went through therapy.
Oh, good. We are going to come to that later.
When I went
Go
through
on.
therapy. Okay, so I'm part of those statistics of people who go to North America, then they lost their over a decade marriage. So, but the truth is, at that time, I just felt like, okay, yeah, it has happened. What am I going to do? Well, while things are resolving itself or solving itself, what do I need to do to become a better person? Right? Did I have a fault in whatever happened? Yes, I do. I acknowledge my own mistakes. And do I want to hold on to those things that weren't that pleasant? No. So how do I maneuver it? Change my mentality.
Right.
Not just for anybody else, but for myself. Navigate life in an easier way, easier terrain, and get things done faster. So the only way I could do that was to go through therapy. And when I went through the therapy session, right, I discovered that those things we were taught on how to be a man was actually a heavy burden that we need to offload to be a better man.
Right.
So that was the first time that I could sit in front of someone. I don't care whatever you think about me. I don't care what you make about me. All I just want to do is those heavy stuffs on me, I want to let go. And had to start breaking it down. From when I was a little boy all the way to when I became adult, life issues that happened when I became adult, and the present position when I found myself. And I will tell you, was the best decision I ever made.
So you made the decision for yourself to go for therapy.
Yeah.
Because listening to you, culture plays a big role in hushing men, you know, not to express or not to show feelings. Because you made examples with growing up with superhero characters and everything. And now even when you come here, because I'm saying all this to say recently there was a video of a guy that came on to a podcast to say what was happening in his marriage, and he was very vulnerable. And he got a lot of people, like some backlash that how can a man be crying like this and all that kind of thing. So culture plays a huge role in this. So is it that we should now encourage our little kids to be more expressive, or how would we mitigate all of that cultural
Okay, so in that situation, right, I think let's be realistic. It's not just men, even the women, right? Our handlers were the ones, I mean, the way they were brought up by our handlers, I'm using handlers,
Parents,
right? Is that when I talk, you don't talk. Even when I'm beating you, I decide how you should cry.
Exactly.
I should even tell you not to cry, even when the pain is right there. Like, shh, shh, shh. You are beating me, I doing shh, shh, shh. The truth is, what we're taught there is how to suppress pain, how to suppress anger. So what happens over time when we now became adults, that we break out from them, is that when we get out there and life now wants to do shh, 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 and flog us, what do? We push back. Instantly, unknowingly, you just react. You won't know. Even for a woman and a man, everybody does it. like, then you won't know that thing is not normal until you pay the price. Like that guy crying, like someone like me who lost 14 years, marriage. Unashamedly, I will talk about it. Right? I don't think we should hide. Men should now start talking.
So,
right?
I'm going to take you up on that. Sorry.
Yeah.
So when you say men should now start talking, who should they talk to? To themselves, or to their partners, or parents? Or how does that start?
Okay, right. So when we say men should start talking, there are two categories of men, or three.
Right.
The ones who haven't gotten into, who's just starting life, single, not married. The one that is in the marriage, struggling, battling with the turbulence. The one that has come out of the marriage, like someone like me. Right. So we have three of them. Right. So who do each of them talk to? The one who hasn't gotten into marriage, who is still single, right? Could talk to friends, could talk to Uncle B, uncle you never had.
Right.
Try to look for it. Express himself. No shame. Uncle, this is the way I'm feeling. This is what I think it is. Then someone can now advise you.
Based on experience.
Based on experience. Now, one of the one inside marriage that have, issues, tension.
Yeah.
The best bet is don't talk to any of the families. Talk to a professional. A neutral person that will give the two of you fair hearing and fair judgment. Not biases from families who are taking sides with their own and giving partial judgment. I'm talking of a professional. Then the third category, those who are out. You need to find a support group of the same people in the same WhatsApp group.
But do you think that should be the best support for someone that is out? Like people that you think it's normal, like don't you think so?
Here's where I'm coming to, right? When I say the same people who are looking for solution to be better, but they are in a group, right? So first option, you go for therapy.
Right.
Okay.
Because you contributed to what broke up, right? You contributed to the breaking of the relationship, either you like it or not. Everybody says, "Oh, I'm not the fault. This is a woman." No. The truth is that it takes two to tango, and it takes the two of you to break it down. So you start with therapy. Know who you are. Know where your faults are. What are your triggers? What are your vulnerabilities? Right? How do I make sure that my weaknesses and my vulnerabilities, I work every day to make them become my strength?
Right.
Even if they cannot become my strength, I can regulate them when I'm triggered. I can identify that, this thing is a trigger for me. Just keep quiet for a while, take a deep breath before I respond.
Or leave the house. They say I can just take some minutes.
Or take a walk. Or ignore. I just like it doesn't really. But later, in a private time with yourself, you can reconcile. And that's like when you say, that thing the other time that you forgot, I say, forgive yourself. It's a process.
Right.
It's part of mental health, techniques.
Right.
You make mistake, forgive yourself. Tomorrow is another day. You will correct the mistake.
Right.
So when you know that, then when you now become to a group of the same people going through the same journey, all of you will be vulnerable together.
Right.
Then you can talk about your life experiences, what you are learning, what you've done, and all of that. And everybody will start what? Growing together. And that's it.
That's brilliant.
Uncle B. I agree that you are Uncle B. And I totally agree. I remember you said at the start of the interview that people can come, that you're that uncle people can come to for advice.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Viewers of fan base, lovers of Open Table, I recommend Uncle B. Please, when you have it, just contact us. We'll reach out to Uncle B so you can go to him for therapy or for advice. He's actually knowledgeable. Yeah. Okay, Uncle B, interesting, and thank you for coming on the show. So before I move ahead, I would like to talk to our lovers of Open Table. If you've not subscribed, please, we need your support. Subscribe. Uncle B, do you want to put a one to
If you are not subscribing, make a talk for pidgin. If you not subscribe, wait till you get.
Meaning, what's your game?
What's your game?
If you are yet to subscribe, what's your game?
So, see, this platform has been doling out quality content that are
Thank you.
helping people navigate this place called Canada. I watched the last one when you brought in, two guests,
Yes,
that
talk about
immigration, and that was awesome. That was quite insightful,
Right.
and kind of made people to quickly understand what's going on, how
Right.
they can actually adjust and get things done. So if you are not subscribing, you are snoozing.
You could have sent the just
Thank you, Uncle B.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to my question. We talked about, like you just said, we talked about cultural upbringing and values adding to a lot of this pressure that our men face.
Right.
Now, but do you want to say that's the only root cause, or do you have any other thing you can attribute to pressure that men
That
face?
affects our men's mental health.
Pressure. I mean, the culture itself is part of it,
Okay.
right? And personal life experiences is part of it. But the worst part of it is when you are not able to find the root cause as a person. If you're not able to find the root cause for why you behave the way you behave, why you react the way you react, then you're having what is called pattern loop. And that's going to continue to lead you to destruction. I like to be a bit vulnerable as well.
Right.
I shared it in one of the support group I belong to. I noticed that, and I discovered it just a few weeks ago.
Wow.
I noticed that if I'm asked a question, especially female, ask me, where are you? Where are you going?
It's a trigger.
What are you doing? What's the trigger?
Like,
Like, are you monitoring me kind of
yeah,
trigger?
yeah.
And because I've been on that healing journey, watching the way I react, the way I respond, sensations on events, I was having a phone conversation with someone, and I was like, where are you going? Are you there already? And I was like, having that thing, like, so why am I feeling this way? I kept it in the record. It happened another time. I was like, oh, this is a trigger.
Right. So would you say that that's almost similar for most men? They don't want to be quizzed about their movements.
But I will tell you why that's a trigger for me.
Okay, so tell me why it's a trigger for you.
Maybe for cultural, like you asked.
Right.
Cultural, they're not a control man. Why?
Oh, okay.
That's cultural.
That's cultural, yeah.
Personal. You know, I told you I was a very stubborn young man. So when we were caught in all of those our vices, they will hold the belt or key and they're like, so that thing that you did, does it make sense to you? Come here. Why did you go there? Did you see that part?
Right.
That thing you did, does it make sense to you? Question. Why did you do it? Question. So the question will continue.
Will you do it again?
Will you do it again? So the question is continuing. The cage is coming closer. So by the time the question gets to about 3, you know that the first stroke is coming.
It's coming, yeah.
So when this started happening, by the time the person is asking, where are you going? Are you there already? What?
So it kind of triggers that trauma from childhood. Yeah.
So naturally, I just became defensive. But now that I know there's a trigger, I'd rather take a deep breath, right? Find a way to express it. That, no, come on. It's not control. You are not about to be beaten. It's just a gentle question.
Right.
It's just a kind question. So when people don't know all of this, they kind of just react. And yeah, women say, ordinary question I ask you. See the way you snap at me. But I didn't know that something way back or something years ago is what's triggering that. So cultural is there, woman not the control man. But personal is there, life experience is there. Trigger.
I've never heard it said like that. I really appreciate you being vulnerable.
Making sense.
And so our male viewers, would like to hear your opinion
please.
so that we women can learn. Because I've never, because the woman is coming from a place of
concern.
Care. I want to know where he is so that if somebody says, oh, where is so and so person, I can say. Whereas to the man, the messaging is different.
Yeah.
The messaging is you are controlling me, you want to subject me to some kind of control
Mhm.
and
The
monitoring.
monitoring. Mhm.
I'm no longer a child. I'm not that child that
That
they
you
could
can-
tell, that kind of thing.
It's something else that is making them react.
Wow.
They thought it's cultural. They thought it's something else. Especially if they are the first son kind of stuff with a whole lot of pressure on them, So what happens to us is when we go through all those processes, first thing that happens immediately we go to university or break out of the house. We first of
Freedom.
all want to have that freedom,
Yeah.
but all those trauma is still there
Yeah.
in our body. So, okay, I'll give another story. Right. My first day at the university, I was there. Jam bike now, you go with all your folder, you want to do your screening, everybody's rushing, all this kind of stuff. So I was part of that. Then one lecturer just came out. I said, what the hell are you doing here? Get out! Get out! Get out! Get out of the corridor! Go down! As I was doing that thing. Then I didn't know it was a trigger. Anyway, for me, closely, what happened? Why are you shouting? So everybody was rushing through the door, and I stood at the corner. And he said, "You, what are you doing there? Come on, get up!" I said, "Sorry now. Am I standing on your head? I didn't even know he's a lecturer."
Oh, you said it to him.
Was a smallish guy. I was just like, "Am I standing on your head?" He said, "Are you talking to me?" I said, "Can't you see? Do you want to cause a stampede?" Right? Why? Why was I reacting like that? When I was being beaten by my uncle and my auntie, they said, shh, don't talk, don't cry, shh, don't cry.
Right.
So all these things are suppressions. So when I broke out, having that freedom, any sense of suppression
Right.
or
You
oppression,
fight back.
I push back.
Don't bring it my way.
Don't bring it my way. A lot of us don't know that all these things are happening to us, male and female.
So that's why men should talk more.
Mm.
Because oftentimes when people talk about traumas, it's women doing the talking
Mhm.
and the men are just silent. So men on the comment section,
We
this
need
is
to
your
start
opportunity to
talking.
talk. Please say something.
Say something.
Please say something.
Yeah, so that's the way it works. A lot of us have those bottled up emotions, it's male, female, but we didn't know that we are reacting towards those things until we get to a point where, and I tell people, if you're 40 and above and you haven't been to one therapy session, then you are doing yourself more harm.
Even when you don't have any issues in your marriage, you still recommend.
I still recommend. Because you may think there are no issues, but you just have an understanding partner.
Right.
But he's keeping it. Maybe one day, someday, the glass will be full. Then he pushes back.
That's why you see some marriages of maybe 20 years, 30 years.
You see
50
how
years,
on earth will 25-year marriage just break down like that. One person has been doing one thing, the other has been tolerating. Now that got to a point I said, well,
And just
I
snap.
can't take this thing again. I think I just need my freedom. So even if I thought it looks like he's working, check very well. Right? And it's not just for toxic behaviors alone.
Okay.
Right? It could also be even at work. You may have a husband that is calm, understanding, can tolerate anything, but you may have a boss that is
Yeah.
right. And the way he behaves, the way he talks to you, the way whatever, they are triggers for you, and you don't even know. And by the time, because you now have an understanding husband at home, by the time you can just bring that body to him, he pampers you, or that you refill your energy again, and you move on. Right? But over time, you don't even know what that thing is doing more and more to you. And at times, we pass those things unknowingly to our children. We don't even know.
Why you're just angry.
Why you're just hungry, why you're just doing all this. That's why I say, either everything's going on fine, whatever. At least, just go do an audit check on your emotions. 1 or 2, 3 sessions, do an audit check. By the time a professional asks you some deep question, your consciousness and awareness will come up. And you just realize that this is why I behave or react the way I do in certain circumstances or events.
Thank you so
Thank you for this
much.
recommendation.
Thank you.
Uncle B, I have a question. Your last sentence was about women. Like, okay, pressure might not be necessarily from you and your partner. You might think things might be going on well at home, but it might even be from work. Like maybe your boss, your colleague is stressing you out. There are so many issues, and you come back home. Actually, I know that might be more of a woman thing because we are the chatty type. Like, we talk a lot. You come back home and you see that superhero, that macho man that is at home, to come and tell him, oh, this is what I experienced at work, from my colleague, from my boss, from this, from that, like, and he has this shoulder that you need to cry on, and he pets you. It's okay, darling. Everything will be fine. Keep on going. So, would you say men, like, why do people see men as the problem solver? Like, is that not a form of body? Like, a man is mostly seen as maybe solution finder. For me, I want to own up. If I hear a sound in my car, the next person I call is my husband that is not a mechanic. If a cockroach flies, the next person I call is, if I'm frustrated, maybe I'm under pressure at work, just know when I get home, today it was like this, almost time is there. Like, and like you said, men too are under pressure. Like so many things they're under, but they can't really say. So is that not killing them silently? Having more to, do you want to speak about
Yeah, you see, like I said from the beginning, you know, the entertainment world kind of, painted what a man should look like. Superhero, never tired, always get up and get things done and all. And the women also, like, they say,
weaker vessel.
what was it?
That's my word. I'm not as strong as
if you have a man that is extremely understanding, listening to you, pampering, you are the luckiest woman ever. Yeah, you are the luckiest woman ever. See, men who have that mental bandwidth to accommodate pressure from outside, accommodate pressure from inside, and still did not go out of line, they are superhero. That means what happened is this: they have emotional bandwidth that accommodate a lot, but still give room for them to think it through and respond. Take note: there's difference between reacting and responding. When you react, you didn't process that thing. You just receive it and throw it out back. When you respond, it means it comes in for a period of time. You think it through. Then you think it through, not just talking, but looking at the best way to deliver the message back that it doesn't hurt the feelings of everybody around you. So, but not all men have that ability. Some men, in my own past, I'm the type who like to, I'm just the type who like to dissipate my energy on something. Right. So, this thing is dirty. Carry on. Throw it away.
Okay.
That's me. When I say problem, I solve
it and move on.
I'm just like, is there a problem? Okay, now let's solve
solution.
it. Right. So, but as good as that is at workplace, it's not suitable in marriage. Because that moment when madam have that feelings, I'm not saying it as something that needs a solution. I see it as a problem, and I approach it from that same energy of there's a problem,
solve it and move on. Yes.
So, but even though what I'll be doing in my own thinking is a solution, but does it match her own expectation?
It might just be she just wanted to talk. She's not wanting you to come and solve the problem.
Does it put her in a good place? So that's why you hear men say, what have I done wrong? I bought the cars, I get them good, I fly them for vacation. I do not say, no, that's not what I want. The guy is solving the problem of provision, but it's not solving the problem of emotional safety for the woman.
Right.
And at times, women can be like, maybe, how would I say, women get carried away with little things. Might not even be that vacation, everything, but maybe just don't say, oh, is your neck cold? Are you hot? Are you good? Oh, you look so good now. Things like that. Compared to...
I actually heard of some guy and he was complaining until he now understood what was the wife wanted. So he's well off, so he carried the wife abroad to go and give birth. abroad.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they got abroad, he said, oh, this lady will need a car
Mm-hmm.
to move around.
Mm-hmm.
And then bought her a car
Mm-hmm.
for her to move around after she gives birth, to do all the run around. And then when he gave her the key, she had a long face.
Mm.
And he was like, I just bought her a car. What else can be more brightening or more ecstatic than this? And so he said he was a bit upset and left the house. But thankfully, they are the kind of couple where the woman explains what she's going through. And then when he came back and he said, I just bought you a car and you are just frowning. I would expect that you'll be happy. And the woman said, what I actually need is for you to spend time with me.
Oh, not
Not the car. Because you are leaving tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
I like the car, but I wish you could stay 1 week more. So imagine that the cost, the money he spent on the car was
Nothing.
as far as the woman is concerned.
Does that not bring us back to this, into that people say, what does women really want? Who can satisfy a woman? If it was time we were spending, and maybe she might have said, go and work. With the girl to see that you're saying, bought a car. Who can satisfy a woman? What exactly does our gender want?
Yeah.
Women on the comment section.
Which one would you
Answer.
prefer? Would you prefer time with your spouse or the
gift?
The gift? Let's know. Let's just hear from you.
These are your questions. So, problem solver, but are you solving the real problem? That's the thing, right? Like you just narrated that story. What the woman wanted is companionship.
Yeah.
Wanted quality time.
Right.
But the man went for gift.
Right.
So someone said, you can, even if you are your spouse are intelligent enough or emotionally intelligent enough to talk about your vulnerabilities and your love language and all of that. But are you actually doing the things that make them feel loved? Or you are just doing things that makes you look loving?
I will clap to that. I will clap to that. That was so well
Back
said.
to
So well said.
Uncle
So well said. So well said.
So the message for the men is this. It takes a lot of work and it takes a lot of understanding. You must understand your wife beyond words, beyond look. You must understand their emotional requirement, what they need emotionally. Then provide it. And I keep saying it. If I knew what I knew now, I probably wouldn't be this shit. But I now know better.
Right.
But we can do better. Men can do better. And I keep saying it. It's not difficult to even support and manage women.
Right.
What you need is good understanding of how to read pattern, how to understand the person, and create opportunity where the two of you can be vulnerable to each other.
Okay.
If you're not vulnerable to each other, okay, like now, I'm able to talk about my childhood. I could even relate it to a trigger of when somebody asks me a question.
Right.
So if I'm discussing that with my spouse, is it better if I have to say, oh, that means if I want to ask that question, I have to rephrase it in a way that doesn't trigger him.
Yeah.
And because you are open to her vulnerability, she too will reciprocate that vulnerability by saying, me too, when I was growing up, this is the way Momsy used to do whatever, and this is what it makes me feel. Or just like all of us are now, kind to remember, like, maybe this one is what's making me like. Everybody will now be able to do that. And once you, as a man, also don't just hear that word, listen, understand it, so that when you do want to ask questions or you want to say something, you don't say it in a way that trigger
The person.
the person.
Yeah.
You say it in a way that gives them that emotional stability. If the two of us are take our emotional stability as a priority, marriages won't have issues. Relationships won't have. Even our relationship with our colleagues at work and everything.
Thank you so much, because I like the way you went with the mental health. You really brought it down to like the nitty gritty of it.
I have a question. Because from all you've said, I can see your knowledge and how bold you had to accept what you've done, or like, because you actually mentioned that, oh, you know your weaknesses.
Mhm,
No,
mhm.
you know what you had done wrong. If you had done, like, if you were this knowledgeable, you might not be in this situation, right?
Yeah.
So would you want to say it's because of the part of the world we are in here? Like, would you want to attribute it to how bold you had to talk about, to accept that you were not 100% right in this situation, whatever happened?
Okay, so I think environment or not, it's just a phase in your life that you have to tell yourself the truth. So in my lonely nights, being alone, right? And I asked myself the question, like, I was alone, and I asked myself the question, okay, another thing that happened shortly after that, my mom, my best friend,
Oh dear.
passed on.
Oh dear.
So,
Sorry about that.
so that means support system seems to have collapsed, right? And I have brothers. Brothers when brothers are interacting, it's different from when there's a sister or mother in between. They have different wavelengths, right? So, and I said, okay, is this not my brother thing? My support system are not there. Wife is not there. Children taken away along with mama, and mom is gone. So that means that I've lost everything. I just told myself, I defined the problem. I have lost everything. Now that I've lost everything, what do I have left? Then the answer is just me. And I wrote it down in jotter. I said, Uncle B, the man that lost everything but gained something himself.
Wow.
And I circled that himself. And I said, this himself, I'm going to change it. So I started doing audits. Were you actually wrong in this area? The answer is obviously yes, I was wrong. Did I contribute to certain things? Yes. Were you right in this area? Yes, right. You just Pope can stand there and hear me. I'm right. You're right. So, not like I'm 100% wrong and I'm 100% right. Not like that. So I told myself the truth and I said, okay, so how do I gain myself? I said, I need to unlearn and relearn. So how do I unlearn? I said, this is not like calling my brother and start ranting. It's not going to help me unlearn because we both have similar whatever. I said, I need a neutral person. I need a neutral terrain. Somebody who can see through me. And so the choice was, let me go for therapy.
Okay.
So I went for therapy. It was almost 12 weeks.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And 12 weeks because when I did my audit with the professional, said, from what I've seen, you had your childhood issues. You had life issue itself for yourself, right? Then you have the marriage that has disappeared. So you have 3 major issues right before. We have to treat each of them one after the other. So you need to unbuckle, deconstruct what brought you into adulthood. Those your experiences of being beaten and told not to cry and told not to and then what adulthood has really done to you in your career, in your business, in whatever deals you've lost, things that actually make you feel like, then the last one is going concern, because it's still real. I mean, it's still present, like you're still going through it and all of that. But she said something. She said, by the time we're done in 12 weeks, my goal is that you start seeing life differently. That you are not going to start making decisions based on your past again, but making decisions based on your future.
Yeah.
So you only reference the past to correct the future. And that's it. If it was in Nigeria, would I do that? I think I will, but it will take a long time to convince you to. Because I will have friends and all of that. I will go out there, go and drink, gist, and I think I'm forgetting my pain, but those pains are still there. But did I do it faster here? Yes, because I was alone. I had no other option because I was the man that have lost everything.
Right.
But I have something left. Yourself.
Yeah.
So in all this, would you say this has your experience, your therapy, like seeing therapy, your way, understanding of life and the way things should be, would you say it now like has an impact on how you would raise your children?
Yeah. Okay. So when you understand yourself, right? Know your weaknesses, your vulnerabilities, and your strengths. Strength is everything that you can do even without thinking. Where the work is on the vulnerabilities, the weakness.
Right.
Now, remember, I said, remember when I was young and all those experiences. Not only that, when I hear children playing, maybe one now beat each other,
Right.
and one is not, the younger one is not crying, then I kind of want to quickly stand up and defend the young one. In
Right.
in the event of that, I fought the older one.
That's true. That's true.
But now, even if they do that, instead of me reacting, I respond. The first thing is, what about we look at all of them from far?
What
Wait.
really happened?
Where's the villain? Where's the victim? So I already have an initial disposition of the situation. Then and I'll call to now hear. By the time I'm hearing this one did this one did this, I'm just picking patterns to know to cross check what I've already, saw or to deduce and all of that.
Right.
And instead of now shouting, I mentor. Instead of shouting, I start to mentor. Okay, you're wrong here. She wouldn't have reacted like that if you had done it like this.
Right.
So I became a mentor.
Right.
So when you go through all those therapy sessions, it's just not just for you. It's also for people around you.
Yeah.
Because you start responding rather than reacting. Right? Because you have good, let me put it this way. I talk about emotions.
Yeah.
Our emotion determines the way we react or respond.
Right.
If you have enough emotions mean that most things are under your control.
Yeah.
Everything looks good. Even the one that doesn't look good, you have a grip
good
of
hand
it.
on it. Yeah.
That means you have enough bandwidth to process any other thing that come your way. That's what they call responding. But when your mind, your brain, everything is filled up with too many issues, any extra that is coming is like pouring water in this cup. Once it is full,
It will overflow.
any other one like this, you don't care if it now overflow, soak the rug, and the rug get bad. The own is that you should push the thing away because you have enough. And finally, this is where in relationship, even at place of work, it's very important. Never have issues swept
Under the carpet. Yeah.
Let me tell you what happens. Our mind is very, very trickish, right? What it does is this. I put this, okay, the time you say, let's feature Uncle B,
Yeah.
you process it. By the time you come to me, I said, I'm available. You say, these are the available dates. I chose the date.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, make sure you are here 7:00. Your mind has seen the beginning and the end of that process.
Right.
It has finished processing it and it has put it aside. So what happens? If any issue had happened yesterday, what we are doing now is not an issue to you. Because your mind says it's done deal.
Yes.
But when Uncle B now say, I don't know, I will come, I don't come, I don't. Your mind processes that this particular thing has not been completed. So by the time another thing comes your way, you have added that one to the one that is already floating. That's what happens to us. When couples don't talk about issues, when one says, I'm not the talking type, I'm not I'm a person of little words, don't do that. The other person that is to process that thing out of his mind has not processed it. It's there hanging. The day he experiences any inconvenience, brain will always look for references to express the feeling you are having now.
Right.
Rather than goes to pick what happened 10 years ago.
What happened before the war?
I relate to that. Because the brain is to reference your sensations.
Yeah.
And when your brain references the sensation, what it does is that from sensation, it goes to mood. And we have 5 moods.
Okay.
sad, angry, anxious, happy, excited.
Mm.
You see, these first three, we roam in between it and we don't know. Is that a situation makes us to be sad, or makes us to be angry, or it makes us to be anxious?
Mm.
Right? So when you have unresolved issue and a situation comes that wants to lead you to sadness,
Mm.
the way your brain will reference sadness is to look for past events
That made you
that
sad.
made you sad.
Right.
That's why in relationship, both parties always reference what has gone. What has happened in the past is not their problem. What's happening is that there's a particular situation that trigger a sensation, and that sensation translated to a mood, and the way the brain can interpret it is reference something similar to it.
Mm.
What therapy does to you is to let you understand that this is where this situation is leading me to. One, it lets you process all the inconclusive situation.
Right, that
you
you've gone through.
process it out.
Mm.
Right? Then, after that time, every other thing that comes your way, you're able to process it properly. And your brain does not have reference again
Mm.
to something. So a new experience is a new experience to your brain. Your brain is to solve it.
And then you're moving forward.
I am moving
without
forward
making
without
references to
going
the
backward.
Oh, good. So these are the takeaways I take from this. And for our men,
Mhm.
please, we appreciate you all, and we appreciate the fact that you are who you are. But like Uncle B said, self-appraisal is important. As a man, sit with yourself and really find out, why does this trigger me? Why does that trigger me? Because that was one of the things you did for yourself. And then after you've done that, if you find that within your scope, you are not able to deal with it, seek help.
Yeah.
Right? Do not try to douse it with hanging out with friends or going to company that will not give you an unbiased analysis and therapy for what you are dealing with. And then in marriage, create a big bandwidth for your wife or your spouse. And if you find that certain messaging is triggering stuff in you, both of you can have a conversation about it and then do better. Because again, because men are not very good at talking much, things are suppressed for so long, and then when they erupt, it's like, oh, this, that. So, or some don't even erupt. They carry that burden of that mental torture, and it can even impact their health, the high blood pressure, and all whatnot. So, men, please, we are appealing. Speak up. Look for help. Look for ways to dissipate those triggers, and the world will be a better place for it.
Yeah, I would also want to add that men should, not men alone, even women, everyone should not be ashamed to show their vulnerability. Speak up. Like, there's no perfect human being. There's no shame in expressing yourself. So just find the right people to speak with, find the right community to have around you. And like Uncle B said, assess the people you need to talk to. Like, you might not necessarily have to talk to family members, because of course we are human beings, everyone will be biased. So it might be professionals, it might be friends or older people, more advanced people or experienced people. Just speak up, because keeping things within yourself and piling issues up might lead to some other things, bigger issues, things that most likely would have been easily resolved if not piled up, and other extra stuff adding to it. So mental health is real, and we hope and everyone is able to get that right support that they need to break through from their mental health. Uncle P, it was nice having you on this show. Honestly, like, you acted as a therapist to me today. Like, and I can bet that people also watching would also have one or two things to take home. So Uncle B, thank you so much. It was a pleasure having you on this hot seat. Absolute justice to all the questions. Thank you so much for coming. So what's your final word?
Okay, men, this is my advice for you. Yes, you are the provider. Yes, you are, making sure life goes on well for your family. But please and please don't lose yourself. Everything is on you. And if you let the emotional part or your mental health derail you, then those you care so much about will end up, not still having you around.
Yeah.
Then I want to recommend this to everyone. On Netflix, please check Blue Therapy.
Okay.
Yeah, everyone needs to watch Blue Therapy.
Oh.
Yeah. If you watch Blue Therapy, right, it's a way of you seeing different events that is already happening in your marriage. Even they don't look like anything, but by the time you see what they are talking about, you're like, seriously? So what this guy is actually doing that he thinks is doing right is actually not doing right in the eye of the woman. And even for the men, they're like, babe, are you talking about this matter that I don't think makes any sense? But the truth is, how do people around you want to be loved?
Yeah.
If you don't have an opportunity for therapy to be vulnerable to each other, you won't know how they want to be loved. And that Blue Therapy on Netflix does that. I mean justice to that. Just go there, watch it. They kind of use different demographics.
Right.
Those that are single, those that are married, those that are, every kind of people. I think about 4 or 5 couples all together. Different sessions, but you'll be amazed. The thing that is actually unsettling you in your relationship, you will be amazed. And by the time you watch it, maybe with your spouse, maybe that will even open up conversations that you guys can be vulnerable to each other. I'll tell you, there's nothing bad, man. My fellow man, there's nothing bad in you being vulnerable to your wife. There's nothing bad with it. But make sure that you do it within the right environment.
Yeah.
If you know that, well, if you guys have to talk about it now, it's going to lead to something else, seek professional help. Where the two of you can express yourself without being judged. And there'll be fairness, and fair hearing. That's what I want to say. So thank you very much for having me, and I appreciate you.
Thank you, Uncle B. To our viewers that have stayed up to this time, thank you. Our subscribers, thank you. Returning subscribers, thank you. Those that will subscribe today,
Thank you.
And always remember, life is for the living. We'll see you on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.